Okay, this is section 5.5. We're going to talk about dividing polynomials, but not in general. We're just going to talk about dividing a polynomial by a monomial. So first we apply the distributive property, which means we divide each term by the monomial divisor. Then we simplify each term using the quotient rule for exponents. And then, of course, if any term includes a negative exponent, we apply the negative exponent rule because we don't want negative exponents in our answer. So, for example, in number 11, we can break the numerator up and put each term in the numerator over the denominator. So that would leave us with a 12x to the 5th, y to the 8th, over a negative 3xy, plus a 5x squared y cubed, which is the next term in the numerator, divided by the denominator again, negative 3xy, minus a 3xy over a negative 3xy. Or I guess we should probably say plus a negative 3xy over a negative 3xy. So now we can do some canceling out. So 3 goes into 12 4 times, and it goes into itself once. So that leaves us with a 4. And then applying the quotient rule, remember when we have a variable to an exponent divided by the same variable to an exponent, we subtract the exponents. So we have x to the 5 minus 1, and then y to the 8 minus 1. Okay, in the next term, the 5 and the negative 3 can't simplify at all because 3 does not go into 5. And there's no other number other than 1 that goes into both 3 and 5. So we have 5 over negative 3, x to the 2 minus 1, y to the 3 minus 1. And then since we have a negative 3xy and a negative 3xy, the negative 3's cancel each other out into positive 1's. So we have plus x to the 1 minus 1 times y to the 1 minus 1. Because remember, if there's no exponent written, it's a 1. So we have 4x, 5 minus 1 is 4. Y to the 8 minus 1 is 7. Since we have a 5 over a negative 3, we can change that to 5/3. X to the 2 minus 1 is 1, and y to the 3 minus 1 is 2. And for our third term, x to the 1 minus 1 is 0, and y to the 1 minus 1 is 0. Now remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. So we have 4x to the 4th, y to the 7th, minus 5 over 3. And we can put the x and the y squared in the numerator with the 5, plus x to the 0 is 1, and y to the 0 is 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. And that is it for that problem. Okay, you should try and do number 12 on your own. Pause the video if you want. Then you can restart it and see if you get it right. So again, we're going to divide everything up. So we have 10a to the 5th over 5a squared minus 5a to the 4th over 5a squared plus 2a cubed over 5a squared minus 35a squared over 5a squared. So 5 goes into 10 twice, and it goes into itself once. So we have 2a to the 5 minus 2 minus. The 5's cancel out in the second term, so we're left with a to the 4th minus 2 plus 2a to the 3 minus 2 over 5 minus 5 goes into 35 7 times, and it goes into itself once. So minus 7a to the 2 minus 2. So that equals 2a, 5 minus 2 is 3, so 2a cubed minus a squared plus 2a over 5 minus 7a to the 0. And remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. So we're left with 2a cubed minus a squared plus 2a over 5 minus 7 times 1 is 7. And that's the answer. So that's all there is to section 5.5. I will see you next for section 6.1.